Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Daily Dose of Gaming News and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on Patreon for access support, and anything regarding news and updates. I usually go about on Twitter X. Um, Today is going to be the day that I'm going to publish the Callisto Protocol episode. And as usual, my schedule is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the gaming episodes. We'll have to arrange some time here to also play a little bit, a couple of demos that are still in the back burner to have some time and dedicate some time to that and record some episodes, see how it goes. And we got also the upcoming Monster Hunter Wilds new beta, open beta that is coming out, and I think Elden Ring Night Rain closed beta test or something like that, or network test, or whatever they are calling it. I think the emails are already being sent to the persons that were eligible for that. It's only consoles, so that's why I didn't bring that up too much. But as a reminder, if you did sign up for that, I think the emails for confirmation of people that already been selected, they already been sent to the players that did the inscription. Completely forgot the word that I want to use, but yeah. Other than that, we got the usual stuff: 4K completed gameplay series, the recent ones, 1080p, the oldest ones, and as always, any kind of feedback regarding the videos, being quality, audio levels, all that jazz is always very much appreciated. So, let's go to the news. We got the launch, or let's call it the paper launch of the 5090 5080 GPUs. And yeah, it's been a lack of a better term, a shit show. A lot of scalping happening. Facebook Marketplace, a lot of people selling, and even on eBay, GPUs that, especially 5090, is like $6,000. People that manage to get around and get some GPUs there that they're selling at least the 5090s. It's the most egregious cases there. Given that they have even shorter availability than the 4090 when it launched. Yeah, $6,000, give or take. Usually, it's what we've been seeing here on some Twitters and all that jazz. Yeah, it's a shit show. And again, even if I don't even doesn't even justify itself of the fact of the uplift just by the raw performance uplift. It doesn't justify these egregious prices here. Again, the overall consensus between these two GPUs is in terms of the, even comparing it with the 4090 and 5090, and even with the 4080 and the 5080. The uplift in terms of performance is not that good, around 30% in a good day between the 90 class cards, and around about 15% for the 80 class cards. Some people might make the better case probably for the 80 class, mainly because supposedly the 4080, when it launched, MSRP was $1,200, while the 5080 is $1,000. But then again, we will not see any kind of MSRP in any of these GPUs. Again, lack of inventory will inflate the prices by itself because, again, it's a very simple market order of supply and demand. The less supply and the more demand, the prices will always increase. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be, especially at the higher end, a good GPU generation. For example, I watched some of them, especially on the 5080, which could be a better case scenario for me. Um, the comparisons between even the 5080 and the 7900 XTX in terms of raw performance, especially rasterized, it doesn't compensate for me to invest $1,000 to have basically an uplift in performance in most cases of margin of error benchmarking there, which is around 5%, give or take in a lot of cases. Again, the technologies might justify the buying of these GPUs, especially with DLSS 4. But even DLSS 4 is available at least on the 40 series, which is the upscaling part of things. It's been upgraded for all the GPUs, I think, even from the 20 series, if not mistaken. So I don't think there's a huge reason to again, if you have a my overall advice is if you're managed to play the games that you want to play and an acceptable frame rate, for my case, I usually for the class card GPU that I have, anything acceptable is around 4K 60 frames per second as a baseline. um, Even if I in the most recent games, if I want to put everything up, will tweak around graphic settings there here and there to achieve those 4K 60 in some extreme cases. Other than that, even for example 4070 Ti, for Ti Supers, even 7900 XTs, I think we are well served. And even if you have a 4090, if you paid over $2,000, I don't think you want to pay another $2,000 for something that will, I don't know, ramp up your electricity by playing games. But yeah, um, I'm not seeing this is a good lift in terms of just performance itself. I think it would be a better value if we had more inventory, but mainly on the 90 class cards, if they at least maintain kind of the same price, I don't know, $1,500, and have that uplifting performance, it would be more reasonable. The 58, I think they should have, I don't know. It's one of those cases. It's an upsell to the 90 class card at this moment in time. But yeah, and in terms of inventory, given that we are on the Chinese New Year, a lot of the manufacturing for these cards are closed for this holiday. So sometime it's around between 3 weeks to 1 month, give or take. So when the manufacturing restarts, it will take a couple of weeks at least to start stockpiling on inventory from the retailers. But yeah, I think probably the predictions that I've been seeing is around March. We will start having a little bit more inventory there. So if you're not urgently need to buy a GPU at this price point, wait a little bit more. I assume that the prices will lower a little bit closer to MSRP. But yeah, basically, this launch is not going good for Nvidia. And with that said, we got a video from Gamers Nexus. They went about it and tried to check the inventory stuff there. They covered a little bit here and there of those 6,000 5090 GPUs on sale on eBay and Facebook Marketplace and all that jazz. And they all also did their own predictions. Again, it's a good watch. I will leave again the link on the description. And with that said, the DLSS 4, they got, again, it's been a while since I got my 1060 that I stopped using the NVIDIA app or NVIDIA apps. Now we have the unified one, and with the launch of these new GPUs, we got the DLSS 4 and the DLSS 4 override stuff there for overriding things from in games. Again, I'm not exactly sure how this is basically on driver level, not on game level. I think there is a way of overriding if the game already supports DLSS 3.7, something like that. But yeah, the app is updated, and you can use there is here on the article how to enable DLSS override in case that the game doesn't support, and also frame smoothing. It's also be able to override the game settings. So there is a quite of instructions here if you want to check those features there. But yeah, I don't think this Nvidia stuff here went that well. Again, that Gamers Nexus goes about in the fact that why they did the launch there, even knowing that they didn't have a lot of inventory to go for. But yeah, they go in deep, and I think it's a good watch. They will know they did better explanation that I can ever make. But yeah, let's go for some gaming stuff here. Forza Horizon 5 will come to PlayStation on the spring this year, which is very interesting. Again, they will continue to do this Xbox again in the ever search of getting more sales. Again, that Game Pass is, I think, is not working that well, at least as expected, and the fact that again the exclusivity stuff there. Again, I think they are going for again, they are doubling down on Game Pass basically as a subscription service. And yeah, I think at least with Xbox, I think they are doing some experiments. At least that's my perception, especially on games that sell good and they are good, but they are not like new games. They are going to continue to experiment with this, putting everything even on PlayStation 5. And Forza Horizon 5 is still a good game, at least has good feedback from the players. Overall, it's a racing game. Maybe trying to see how it competes with, I don't know, with Gran Turismo stuff there, to, I don't know, engage and see how well it fares with that competition. At least that's my perception. Forza Motorsport is the most recent one from this series, but again, it's more for I don't know. It's more simulation style game. Forza Horizon seems to be more relaxed type of racing game here. But yeah, it will come full with all the thematic updates, with the two expansions. So again, 900 cars available in the game. But yeah, it will come also with crossplay between PC and the consoles itself, which is interesting. And they are also announcing special free update being added to the game across all platforms that will rise all realms. And it will allow players to explore a creative collection of community favorite previously released evolving worlds. Again, I'm not too into it in this game. It's one of those games that always entice me to do an investment and buy this game, because I always liked racing games in this kind of setting here, more free roam kind of a thing. But yeah, it's the lack of time of playing these kind of games that doesn't let me to just outright buy and start playing. But yeah, it's coming spring. I think we'll have in the meantime a more definitive launch date. But yeah, you can wish list today on PlayStation Store, I suppose. So that's that. On Clair Obscur Expedition 33, got an official PC requirements. The game will come on April 24. I will for sure very interested in this game. Most likely, if it is as good as I think it might be, I will probably buy day one and start playing it as soon as I can. Again, it's going to be a pretty busy year on gaming. But yeah, this one is one of those that got my curiosity up. Um, and yeah, it seems pretty tamed in terms of requirements, especially on the minimum specs. Again, this one is to achieve around 1080p, 30 frames per second, or low settings. So it's like the base minimum. So we got an 8th generation Intel Core or even Ryzen 5 1600X. Only need 8 gigabytes of RAM, and in terms of GPUs, very tamed 1080 1070 Ti, or even an RX Vega 56, or even an Intel Arc A580 should be enough. On what they say recommended settings, 1080p 60 frames per second, it ramps up a little bit, but again, they are aiming here 60 frames per second on high settings. And by the fact that this is a Unreal Engine 5 game, that's why I think it ramps up a little bit more here on the PC requirements. Again, 11700K for Intel, a 5600X for AMD, and again, now you need 16 gigabytes of RAM. And on the GPU side of things, it's still a little bit tame for 1080p gameplay, I think, which is a 3070 or even a 6800 XT. And again, it's for 1080p 60 frames high settings. That's why it's a huge difference, I think, mainly because of low and high settings difference there. But yeah, the game is not that big. 55 gigabytes of space on your hard drive. But yeah, it seems pretty good. Again, I'm just waiting for reviews when embargo lives there. Probably we'll see a little bit more teasers here and there. We saw on the Xbox showcase, we got a little bit more in depth of there is going to be world navigation. It seems very interesting and very pretty. The art style and the setup here for this game, it looks pretty good. And lastly, we got Summer's Game Fest coming. Uh, Comes from June 6th to June 9th. Going to have the usual stuff here, which is going to be the main event here, which is the main ceremony. Over 40 publishers and gaming companies confirmed to participate. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I'll see what I can get from this. But I'm not. I'm expecting some good stuff there. Even though some of the most expected game launches, for example, Monster Hunter was already been launched for sure. This Clair Obscur and a couple more games that are upcoming. I think we might see something from Elden Ring Night Train, maybe mainly because of their closed beta test. It will come out this year. I will assume later this year. But yeah, probably we'll get a little bit more in depth. Probably some booths for people to try out. I don't know. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that and see what kind of surprises might appear in this thing. You never know. The only thing that I find it interesting, and it's going to have panels and conferences held in parallel. Again, I'm not sure what Jeff Kelly is trying to do here. Um, Hopefully, it's not kind of a TED talk or the GDC kind of a thing there. Hopefully, it's more I don't know. Hopefully, it's more focus on the customers or player side of things instead of inside business things. Again, maybe you can get a trend of how things are progressing on, for example, the DI stuff there and uh, the I don't know. We'll have to wait and see because I'm not really expecting a lot of stuff here, mainly because of the Game Awards stuff. They did like the special prizes for special people or whatever they want to call it. I just hope that it doesn't include they at least scratch those kind of things there. Especially similar things like GDC, we had like the Kim Belair bringing about herself, being a, a trying to destroy the gaming industry. I don't think for starters, doesn't look good in the Summer's Game Fest. Trying to say that you're going to throw the gaming industry to burn it to the ground. Again, I don't. I don't like nihilism. I hope they start getting around and getting a little bit more direction in a direction more for the customer base, which are the gamers that they like so much to throw under the bus and call up all the Eastern phobes around there. But yeah, this is what I got here for today. We got gaming deals. Dead Space, again, I will go mostly from stuff that I already have on my inventory. So Dead Space Remake, 75% off at this price point. I really do recommend. The deluxe version is not worth it. It's only have like a couple of suits here that doesn't do extra. They don't do anything else. It's just visual stuff there. But yeah, this game is excellent. If you're not sure if this game is for you, you can check out the couple episodes that I already did for this game in my gameplay series. Again, the only nitpick that I have or complaint is the performance in terms of vertical stuttering near doors where the level is loading up on the background. It's the only complaint that I have. The rest seems silky smooth. Gameplay reminds me, with some improvements, reminds me very much the setup that they did on the original game. But yeah, other than that, I really do recommend at this price point. Got also Metro Saga bundle. Again, all free games, the Redux versions of the first two, plus Exodus expansion pack, everything around. I think it's 80% off, $10 or so. This trilogy here. We got also Near Replicant. 60% off. Again, it's one of those that I will eventually start playing out. And also then the sequel Near Automata, 60% off on the base game there. We got also Star Wars. This is Jedi Fallen Order. At this price point, I can recommend for $6. I think it's a decent game. Got some optimized issues here and there. Other than that, serviceable story, good combat, trying to cater to kind of the Souls-like thing. But yeah, on the Star Wars as a whole, in terms of lore and stuff, I don't think it breaks anything huge. But yeah, it's a very decent game by itself. And then we got the sequel, Jedi Survivor, which is in terms of overall story and even on gameplay, it expands and improves in most areas. But the performance on the hardware, it's still a little bit janky in some situations. Other than that, I can recommend this game at this price point, but you can always check out the at least the first episode, so you can have a sense of how it performs with the hardware that I have. But yeah, it's always good to check first before you just buy the game. Then you got also Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy, so all the free games with the GOT editions with everything included. It's around 80% off, and it's also around 10 or 11 bucks. Free games with everything included. I think this is a very good trilogy for the Tomb Raider. I made the series on the Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I will eventually replay all three of them and make a series out of it, because I did enjoy the first two. I played the first two, and I really did enjoy it. So I will eventually replay all of them. I just need to play this third one. Never played that, but yeah, it's one of those things. Lack of time. Then you got No Man's Sky, 60% off. Again, they had it like a couple of days ago, if that much. World's Part 2 update with underwater exploration and all the ecosystem and gameplay around that. Then we got again Forza Horizon 5, 60% off in everything basically. There is a lot of extra stuff here to buy. But yeah, seems pretty good. Very positive feedback since it launched, and yeah, it's one of those that I always get teased to every time I watch the Steam page to buy this game. But yeah, I don't have time at this moment for that. Then you got Death Stranding, Director's Cut. Again, it's the version that I do recommend. I'm playing. No, I claimed it for free on Epic Game Store almost a year ago. I did play a couple of, at least a couple of main missions. I think probably reached a quarter of the way, maybe. It's got that delivery system and everything around it. It's very addicting for you to go about and try out. I think it's very inspired from Metal Gear Solid 5. In some cases, it reminds me a lot the way you go about on the gameplay systems and the loop that it goes for. But yeah, I really enjoyed, and I want to continue to do live streaming this game and continue to play it. But yeah, I think this is an excellent game. And then last we got Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. We got a demo here if you want to check it out. This is one of the demos that I also want to try out. And it's 20% off. It seems pretty good. It's kind of a mix between strategy, tower defense stuff there. Got the day and night cycle. In the day, you prepare yourself for the night when all the demons come out, and during the day, you prepare and cleanse everything. So you prepare for those kind of tower defense mechanics there. But yeah, other than that, for today, this is it. What I got here. I'm just going to leave it here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. At this moment in time, the extra support is more in line for me to try and get a better storage solution, so I can get backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course, some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a full day. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, Kunami Master out.